Hey, what's going on, guys? It's the Short Sports Show. I'm your host, Daniel Short. Today is Monday, March 3rd, 2014, and a very, very cold day today. It's so crazy here in Texas how this is basically the bipolar state. Yesterday it dropped down to, I believe, 30-something degrees. It is now 27 degrees today after Saturday just being in the mid-80s. Just like that. A day and a half, and it just drops. It's very crazy. Right? It's actually warmer in Seattle, Washington right now. 48 degrees compared to 27 here. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But anyways, show must go on. And today we'll be talking about a few college football notes here and there, nothing too major. And also, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have released their new uniforms. And to be honest with you, they suck. They are ugly looking. And in my opinion, they are terrible uniforms. We'll discuss that a little bit later on, as well as some free agency notes, as the deadline is today. Free agency will start 4 o'clock Eastern time, and that'll be exciting to see who's going to go where and see how fast everything happens. As well as we will talk about some Major League Baseball news, spring training, little quick notes again around here. But today, college football news. Georgia Tech senior wide receiver Darren Waller has been suspended for the first 2 games of the 2014 season for a violation of team rules. He only played 12 games last season and had 17 receptions for 367 yards and 3 touchdowns. So nothing major, but that is some news. I mean, college football news has just really died down. But the good thing is spring practice has started for majority of teams. If not, your team is probably starting later this week. Spring practice is going to go on. So that's exciting. TCU started Saturday, and that was some good news to hear that people around that area that went to see the practice said that the offense looked amazing, how fast, how up-tempo it is. And that's really good to hear because we really don't have a quarterback for TCU right now. So to hear that the offense is looking good and we really don't even know who our quarterback is going to be, we're not going to know probably until, again, season opener. That is pretty good. And excuse me, got a little allergies today. Hopefully get over it pretty soon. Other news, Texas A&M sophomore linebacker Darian Claiborne and sophomore defensive tackle Isaiah Golden are continuing to serve their indefinite suspensions after both were arrested on separate charges early Sunday morning. Quote, no timetable, pending investigation, and everything else. They are suspended indefinitely, coming from head coach Kevin Sumlin. Golden faces a marijuana possession charge of less than 2 ounces, while Claiborne was charged with a noise violation. Both were in a car parked in a handicapped spot at an apartment complex at the time of their arrest. Both were released Sunday on bond, and it was the second arrest in 3 months for Darian Claiborne, who was charged with the marijuana possession in December and was suspended for the Chick-fil-A bowl game against Duke, which, again, was one of the best bowl games, if not the best bowl game. Of course, next to the national championship game, A&M Duke, that was an amazing game. But that really sucks mainly for Darian Claiborne, because this guy has so much talent. I'm telling you, this guy, from what I've seen on Texas A&M and what I've seen on him, he has the potential to be a Von Miller. I really think he does. But this off-the-field stuff is going to kill his chances very quickly if he doesn't get it together. I mean, 2 arrests in 3 months, and he's only a sophomore. I mean, he's really got to step it up. This guy could be a potential leader if he just changes, the way he's going right now, because really he has no choice, because if he doesn't, I wouldn't be surprised he gets kicked off the team. And then he's going to have to transfer to some Division II school, and we're not going to hear about him until he's a senior or something. But anyways, this guy has great potential if he could just change his act. Don't be surprised by his senior year, wherever he is, whether it's at A&M or it's at West Texas A&M. This guy could be a good football stud if he changes his ways. And other Texas news is former Texas Tech quarterback Michael Brewer announced Sunday that he's transferring to play for Virginia Tech. He will graduate this spring, and he will be eligible immediately with 2 seasons to play for the Hokies. Brewer originally had wanted to transfer to either TCU or Texas, but of course Texas Tech had to just pull their evil move, just terrible. They just had to be really, it was stupid. But anyways, they denied him a release to transfer within the Big 12 schools. A lot of quarterbacks that are looking to transfer, every year there's people transferring. But this year we had the former USC quarterback, Max Weddick, is looking at TCU as well as Texas to transfer. And so was Michael Brewer. And he wanted to go there to TCU as well. So that would have been really nice to have more quarterbacks. I mean, we've got 2 talented freshmen coming in this fall. And we also have a former standout quarterback from Kansas, in high school Kansas, not University of Kansas, who I believe is a sophomore this year, if not a junior. Tyler Matthews, he could be the quarterback. We still have Trevon Boykin, who knows if he's going to be a quarterback or a receiver. And then we have a redshirt freshman in Zach Allen, who could potentially be pretty solid as well. So if we had Brewer and Whittick come at the same time, I mean, you got 7 different quarterbacks right there that are ready just to step in and make some noise. That would be crazy, but sadly, Brewer's going to go to Virginia Tech, and Max Whittick, still don't know, but it looks like he might transfer to Texas. From what other news he was saying, how he was so impressed by it, and all that other lies. Anyways, moving on to the NFL, Redskins. First of all, it is the free agent deadline does start 4 Eastern today. After that, after no deals have been made, all these players are free agents, and then it is a free for all from there. And I hope the San Diego Chargers can make some splashes. I know they don't really have the money, but I'm just hoping. There's still some players out there that I'm really excited to see if the Chargers can try to get. First of all, Redskins are going to give Brian Orakpo the franchise tag if no deal is reached again by the 4 Eastern deadline. And that'll be interesting to see, as well as the Green Bay Packers and cornerback Sam Shields won't have a deal. Apparently, talks have just stopped, and Sam Shields will test free agency, and that is a player that I wouldn't mind the Chargers going after, because we desperately need help at the cornerback position, and Sam Shields would bring that veteranship and also play making skills that would instant starter for San Diego and help the younger guys as well. Other news is Bills and safety Jarius Byrd are at a standstill in contract talks. Today, Buffalo faces a deadline again to apply the franchise tag on a 3-time Pro Bowl selection player. Byrd has 22 interceptions and 11 forced fumbles in 73 career games. He was placed on a franchise tag last season, and if I'm not mistaken, even the season before that. This guy is the most untalked about top safety in the NFL. If something doesn't happen with the Bills before the deadline, I know they're going to try to play the franchise tag, and he really has no say. But if he doesn't get the franchise tag, if they just say, you know what, we're just going to let him go, highly doubt it. But if he does, look for him to be the highest paid safety in the NFL this season if he's let to free agency, because that would be something right there for multiple teams to go after. Other news, the Dolphins promoted John Bennon to offensive line coach. The team announced Saturday. Bills first hire Benton, who formerly worked for the Houston Texans, on January 29th as an assistant offensive line coach. But after the whole mess up with the Incognito and Martin situation, they fired the offensive line coach and now pushed him over there, which is another situation that's just really, really dumb, that I really don't like talking about, because it's just so messed up the Dolphins organization is that everybody needs to just be let go. But that's another talk. Again, today, this morning, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers unveiled their new uniforms. And I don't know if you've seen them. I'm pretty sure you have by now. And to me, they're the most ugliest uniforms in the NFL today. I'm talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars have the better uniforms. I'm saying the Cleveland Browns have a better uniform than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buccaneers, it looks more like an Arena Football League teams type uniform, or XFL is what people have been saying. I don't like them. I like the old uniforms. I mean, I'm in love with the helmet. I love the helmet. I love the design. I love the bigger logo. I love the colors. The helmet is top notch, probably one of the best in the NFL. The uniforms are just ugly. It's why would you go and do that and change to that design? And for people that are on YouTube, you are seeing the picture right now. It's ugly. And if you haven't seen it, go on my Facebook page, The Short Sports Show. You can check it out there. Here's a quote. Here's what Buccaneers co-chairman Edward Glazer had to say. He said, quote, "Today marks the accumulation of more than 2 years of research and planning to bring the Tampa Bay Buccaneers into a new and exciting era for our history. We worked closely with our partners at Nike to design a uniform that would set the standards for both design and functionality. The result is a sleek, modern design that honors our championship past while establishing a new, bolder identity moving forward," unquote. What shocks me there is that they've put, and I don't know if he's just saying this, but he says more than 2 years of research to bring this new uniform to life. If it took you 2 years to make this uniform, I'm sure there are people right now, your average Joe, that could do it in 2 minutes and make a better uniform than what you have just shown everybody. That's truly what I believe. I'm not dissing on the Buccaneers. I'm not hating on them. I just think the uniform is just ugly. It's just it's so just amateur, I guess. It's not something you would think an NFL team would wear, in my mind. The picture that they have shown so far is just their away uniform, their away combination. But they do say the red jersey, which will be the home set jersey, will feature that brownish. What is it called? I can't think of the name. It's not the brown, but the former helmet. It's red, and then what's it called? Pewter? Is that? Am I saying it right? Anyways, it will feature those type sleeves with shoulders with white numbers on the body and red numbers on the shoulder. Is what the home set combination will look like. They'll release a picture later on. If they release it before or after I get the video out, you guys could see it on YouTube and on the Short Sports Show Facebook page. Check it out there. But unless the home uniform can just change my mind, the away uniform just looks disgusting. It looks like an arena football team type thing, and I guess that's the image they want to look for. But what are your opinions on those uniforms? I want to hear what other people have to say, what they like from it, what they don't like, what would they change on it, and basically if you're a fan of it or not. I really want to know what actual Buccaneers fans think of it, because those are the people that are going to have to buy those jerseys and support that team. Do they really like those uniforms? Let me know in the comment section. And last news on the NFL is friction between the 49ers and head coach Jim Harbaugh. Now, past few weeks, going into the combine, we heard that there was some news coming out saying that the 49ers and the Browns were close to a trade that would involve multiple, if not all, draft picks from the Cleveland Browns to be given to the 49ers. And on the other side, 49ers would give head coach Jim Harbaugh, they will send him over to Cleveland and let them be the head coach over there. And, that was back and forth. Yes, it's true. No, it was never going to happen. The talks never happened. But Cleveland owner came out and said, yeah, it was, he might have said it wasn't close, but he said it was in talks. So this has put a whole, situation and a big question mark on the 49ers, and a lot of people aren't taking it seriously. What we need to compare this situation to is what happened with the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones, and of course his name slips off my mind. That's embarrassing. Jimmy Johnson. There we go. If I forgot that name, I might have just quit this show. Anyways, Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson, big fight going in, but inside the management, and eventually they split. What seemed like a great combination. Cowboys are winning championships. They're a dynasty. Everything's going well, and they split. Right now, 49ers yet to have won a championship, but have reached the NFC Championship 3 times and have made the Super Bowl once. And Jim Harbaugh has really shown that I think he's the best coach in the NFL. I really do. I know he hasn't had the wins. I know people are going to disagree with me, and that's fine. Everybody, has their opinion. I know he doesn't have the wins that has pushed the team to the Super Bowl. But what he has done to 49ers and taken that same roster, people forget this. He has that same roster with the little tweaks here and there since he's been there. With their draft and all that other good stuff. But I'm saying he basically started with the same roster Mike Singletary had, and took a team that went 4-12 to go. I can't think of their exact record, but I'm gonna say 12-4, maybe better. So, he's got to be he's obviously one of the best head coaches in the NFL. If not one of the best, is what he's done. And 49ers are so close to taking that next step and winning the Super Bowl. And they might have just even made it if Cam Newton hadn't made that mistake with 2 timeouts remaining, 30 seconds left in the red zone, and forced a pass to none other than Richard Sherman. You take that away, maybe drop another play, might have had a different outcome. Just saying. Just putting it out there. Just saying. But anyways, here's a quote from Ann Killen from San Francisco Chronicle saying, quote, "But on the other hand, the friction has gotten worse, and given the events of the past week, it has become public. So there's no pretending that everything is fine. And from what I've been told, the tension isn't just upstairs in the building. One source with inside knowledge of the team says that Harbaugh's act has worn thin in the locker room among some key, quote, face of the 49ers type players. While the team is winning, that is not a problem, but a few losses could expose a widening rift." In other words, this situation has gotten a lot worse, and there's other stuff that we have not been told, and we might see a split pretty soon. Pretty soon. Not saying, he's going to get traded to some other team. I doubt that will ever happen, but we might be seeing the end of Jim Harbaugh's reign at the 49ers, and be interesting to see where he goes afterwards. But 49ers really need to get this together, because if they lose Jim Harbaugh, they will still have a talented roster, but if who knows what can happen there. And I think Jim Harbaugh is a reason for their success, and what's got the 49ers to have more bandwagon fans, and it's got them to be, back at the top. Without him, I think 49ers would have still been that team that was competing with the Rams and the Cardinals at the low spot. Now, granted, Rams and Cardinals are getting better, but I'm just saying at that time, that's where they were. But anyways, that's it for Jim Harbaugh. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think, what's going to happen with that situation, and how 49er fans feel about that. But we'll move on to Major League Baseball news and sad news. Now, I don't know the exact name of the documentary that I watched, but I'm sure you just type it in, you'll find out the documentary. It's on Netflix, it's on YouTube. Basically, anywhere you can find it, you'll be able to you'll be able to watch it. And it's a documentary on a few players from, I believe, the Dominican Republic, and one of them is Miguel Sano. He's a Minnesota Twins top prospect third baseman, and he will need Tommy John surgery on his injured right elbow, and will sadly miss the entire 2014 season. He is one of, like you heard, he's one of the top prospects overall in baseball, and for the Minnesota Twins, he's their top prospect, and this is a huge blow to the Twins and for Sano. I really like this player. I think he could make a huge impact, just like Yasiel Puig And Bryce Harper, we'll be seeing the young players just step up really quick and make a huge impact. Sano was the next one. I'm telling you guys, he was the next one. This is what he had to tell ESPN. He said, quote, "I feel pretty frustrated. I wanted to cry because it's very hard for me knowing that I had the chance to play with the big team," unquote. Sano hit 35 home runs in just 123 minor league games in 2013, despite battling the elbow injury for much of the season. What else? He was expected, apparently, from the Star Tribune in Minneapolis. They said that he was expected to hit anywhere from 45 to 55 home runs this season. Those are just projections, but, that's crazy. He possibly could have done it. I mean, he's 20 years old, hit 35 last year. If he didn't have this elbow injury, who knows where we could have seen him. But he also thought he would, and most people believed he could make the Twins opening day roster this year. And it was recently rated as baseball's number 8 overall prospect by ESPN insider Keith Law. And and it's true. I think he would have made opening roster. I think he's their best fit, for a growing team and for the Twins. But man, that sucks for Miguel Sano. And if you just type in his name, just Google it and just find out the documentary. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's a very great documentary. And you also see how he got to the MLB and how he almost didn't get there because of some situation problems. Again, it's a very good documentary. Must watch. Other news, Cleveland Indians have inquired infielder Justin Sellers from the Los Angeles Dodgers for cash considerations. I was never a real fan of Justin Sellers. So to me, as a Dodgers fan, it's okay with me that he's going over there to Cleveland. San Diego Padres center fielder Cameron Maybin to have an MRI after leaving Sunday's split squad game against the LA Dodgers in the 5th inning with an apparent injury to his left shoulder. No other news has been set on him, how he's going to be afterwards. And one crazy story that happened yesterday was Boston Red Sox pitcher Jake Peavy, who was scheduled to make his first start today, was scratched after he cut his left index finger with a fishing knife on Saturday. And apparently from manager John Farrell, he said he's going to be a no-throw for 3 days and then initiate a throwing program off the mound. It's his non-throwing hand so he can keep his arm in shape, but he's a scratch for tomorrow. And said this was just a freak accident. And he avoided some serious injury with what took place. He cut himself with a fishing knife when he was at home, and he was trying to cut through something, and then it gave away, and he apparently almost cut through his left index finger completely. He had a procedure today, which I believe was yesterday, and to make sure there was no infection of any kind and to clean it out thoroughly. But wow, that was crazy to have Jake Peavy it was just random news out of nowhere that he cut himself with a fishing knife. But that would have been some interesting how he would have played with missing his left index finger. I actually have an interesting story. I was just debating. That's why that pause just happened. I was debating if I should tell this, but I don't know how old I was, but I was old enough to remember. It was when I was young. I want to say, man, I don't want to lie though. I don't know what age I was. I'm gonna say 5 or 6, and it could be younger. It couldn't be much older than that. Anyways, I was young. My mom was washing dishes. My dad was on the phone, and I don't know why. I wanted an orange, right? I wanted an orange, and I was a hard-headed kid. I was stubborn. I didn't want to wait. I'm very impatient. And so I asked my mom, hey, can you open this orange for me? Apparently at the time, don't question me here, but apparently at the time, I didn't really think you could just, peel the orange with your hands. I guess I just didn't want to do it that day, or maybe I have no idea why I didn't do that. Anyways, my mom said just a little bit, washing dishes. My dad's busy on the phone. So anyways, I'm waiting. I'm getting impatient. Finally, I grabbed a knife, and I started to try to cut the orange by myself. Again, don't know why I decided to use a knife. Anyways, I guess I put my finger in the wrong area, or the orange slipped or something. I cut my same finger, left index finger. I cut it. Now it was just a small knife, so it wasn't going to cut through the complete finger or anything. Anyways, went to the hospital, got stitches. But when I heard about the story, it instantly brought back just like, I still remember it to this day. I remember them trying to like hold down the towel, take me to the hospital. Thankfully, we lived literally just down the street from the hospital, so it was easy to get to. But I don't know why. I don't know why that happened. But it brought back not a painful memory or anything. It's just looking back, it's like, wow, what was I thinking? But anyways, Jake Peavy and I now have something in common, that we almost lost our left index finger. So that's awesome. Anyways, other news is Mariners apparently need another right-handed hitter, according to Robinson Cano. Said, quote, "I'm not going to lie, we need an extra bat, especially a right-handed bat. We have too many left-handed hitters. We need at least one more righty. You don't want to face a lefty pitcher with a lineup of 7 left-handed hitters." And living in Seattle, I was obviously paying close attention to the Mariners and what was happening with Robinson Cano, with the Mariners, new management or new manager, and seeing what was going to happen, because I believed I was going to have to cover them this season. And I really had no idea that they had that many left-handed hitters, and obviously with 7 lefties out of 9 spots, something's got to change right there. And Robinson Cano is right. Mariners need a lot of help with right-handed hitters. But that is another interesting thing to look at. And as well as Detroit Tigers pitcher Justin Verlander is expected to make his first start of spring Thursday versus the Phillies, according to manager Brad Osmus, which I probably said that last name wrong. But anyways, Justin Verlander expected to make his first start Thursday. And that is it for today's show. It was a very interesting show. We had to talk about a lot of different things, and which is very, good. We got a good mix of everything here and there. But anyways, guys, the next show will be Friday afternoon. Here we go. 2 quick football news. Since my San Diego Chargers did re-sign Donald Butler, apparently it will be a 4-year or 3-year deal. It's going to be $20 million Donald Butler will receive in the first 3 years, with an option for 4 more years at $8 to $9.5 million. So I'm guessing 7-year deal. Was that what I'm looking at? So I don't know. Either way, that's good. We're going to have him for a very long time. And the Dolphins agree to cornerback Brent Grimes. The deal is worth $32 million over 4 years, with $16 million guaranteed. Unbelievable. Now, he does deserve a good contract, but $16 million guaranteed? Woo! I don't know. Brent Grimes, you're a solid player. He had 4 interceptions last year, but $16 million, I don't know about that. But anyways, next show will be this Friday afternoon. Follow me on Twitter at @short_sports 24/7. Become a fan on Facebook, The Short Sports Show. Click the like while you're there. Check out other stories and pictures and all the other good stuff over there. Also, if you're listening on YouTube, be sure to leave a like and subscribe and favorite while you are there. iHeartRadio listeners, give that heart right. It's a heart, I think, on the top left. Anyways, share it over there and on Spreaker.com. Thank you guys for listening. Before this show, we are, I believe, 39 more listeners away from 1,000 listens. That is incredible. Thank you guys for the support. We will continue to bring you guys quality, amazing sports news. Anyways, thank you guys for the support. We're going to keep going. 43 episodes strong, 44 on Friday. And let's see if we can get to 1,000. Best way to do that, guys, is by sharing, whether you're on Facebook, Twitter, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, YouTube, getting the word out there. You guys have done a great job. Thank you so much. God first, God bless. I am out. See you guys Friday.